What is asymmetric routing? Now, if you're panicking right now because you're hearing that term asymmetric, don't panic. A lot of people do. They hear asymmetric and they're like, oh my gosh, asymmetric versus symmetric. It drives them crazy. It's a hard concept to understand for some. And then they couple it with a term like routing, and you lose your mind. So what is asymmetric routing? It's a fancy way to say that the path used from source to destination is different than the path used for the return traffic from the destination back to the source. That's all that means. That's asymmetric routing. The path for sending was different than the path for receiving the response to that sent traffic. That's all it is. Now, is that an issue? Well, it might be. When could this be an issue? Well, let's think about a firewall. If we have a firewall set up, let's say this device is our firewall right here. That firewall, being a stateful firewall, is going to keep track of the traffic that is being sent. It's keeping state information in a table. Well, the return traffic is not matching up to the state information in that table now. Right? Because it's coming back in a different port than what it was sent out of. So that could be an issue with firewalls, and we'd have to be aware of that. Also, it could cause a problem for network address translation. Why? Because our NAT router, let's say this router here, again, is our NAT router, is keeping track of translations. Well, if you are doing your translations, and you have certain interfaces set up as the outbound interface and the inbound interface, that traffic's going to be sent out a certain interface, and there's going to be a table maintaining that state of the address translations. Well, when the traffic arrives back, and it arrives inbound on a different interface, is that matching the state information? Does it line up to what the translation originally did? No, it doesn't. So it could become a problem at that point in time. So you have to understand the concept of asymmetric routing, and that it could affect various protocols, services, features, or applications that we have deployed in our network.